Has what Michael Carrick's done convinced you that he's the man for Manchester United? I'm not just talking about the obvious here either. I'm not just talking about the wins, 6 wins in 7 games where United are in the league, and how he's handled the players and what's been said now from serious doubters from when Michael Carrick first walked in. That honeymoon period all over, it is still continuing. I'm going to talk about what Gary Neville said last night about Michael Carrick, how Michael Carrick has handled certain situations within Manchester United, proving that he is already forward thinking and ahead of the game when it comes to what's needed for Manchester United next season. Get into the live chat, give me your thoughts on this. I've got a poll running right now. I'm going to run this right the way through the live stream this morning. It's another happy Monday for United. This seems to be the norm with Michael Carrick. Every single weekend we've had under Michael Carrick, we've been sat here on a Monday talking about a Manchester United win. You cannot ignore the obvious. Is Carrick the man for the full-time job? That's the poll that's up right now. It's a simple yes or no. Where are you at 7 games in? Are you more convinced after what you have seen? Are you more convinced after what Michael Carrick has done and how he has handled everything? I feel like we're in a position now where we have to start looking ahead. The games are taking care of themselves at the moment. The squad have already spoken. They've spoken with their feet. They're acting on what is being reportedly coming out of Manchester United. I want to pick out one bit from what Gary Neville said yesterday, though, after the football had finished for the weekend. And what he said, I think, was important, in particular on the Benjamin Cesco situation. Now, I made a big point about Benjamin Cesco from my point of view yesterday, but what Gary Neville said actually has rung true with quite a lot of Manchester United fans. And we're finding a lot of the doubters actually coming in and actually now changing their mind. I actually do think that there is a sense of inevitability about it. We'll also tell you what Romano has said in this video. We'll tell you what Romano said last night in this live show as well. And we'll obviously get into your opinions on it and what you think of what everyone else is talking about right now. But I think it's quite clear from everybody. To start with today, I mean, the Benjamin Sesko situation. This is what Gary Neville has said. So just let me know exactly what you think from this and what Gary Neville said here, because I do think that a lot of Man United fans might not have picked up on this. You might have picked up on this, but a lot of United fans have been talking about Benjamin Sesko. Gary Neville said this yesterday. This is on Benjamin Sesko. The confidence, the goals, the finishes he's put in against Fulham, Everton, West Ham and Palace are 4 brilliant goals. It's very true. Definitely absolute banging finishes, important ones as well. We already know that them goals have created 10 points in them moments for Man United so far for Carrick, which is massive. They're all very different goals. He's improved enormously. That's the first time Carrick has started him, so he's obviously had doubts about him. But what he has done over the last 4 or 5 weeks while bringing him on as a sub, he's working Cesco into form. That's a game changer for United. They cannot have another centre-forward come into the club and fail. Working him into form, that's what, I think that's what, it's the best way we could probably describe the way that Carrick has handled Benjamin Cesco, because he has been actually, I feel, unfortunate not to start games. I think he has been probably put on the bench when we thought he could have actually started more. I actually didn't think, and this was the weekend, if you look back on the match day content from yesterday, my first video in the morning was that I didn't think Benjamin Cesco would start the game. I didn't think Cesco was going to come. I think it was going to be unchanged and they would just go with what he's done before. It's been working. Cesco's come off the bench and had a massive impact. And he's a right weapon to have off the bench. But he started him. And he chose yesterday to give him the starts, I think, for a reason. I think it was just to give us the aerial presence. Because the way that Manchester United created chances yesterday and our best moments all came through aerial threat. So Carrick has obviously seen something in preparation for this game and gone specifically in with Cesco to go in there, I think, as well. And if you would have noticed, in defending set pieces also, Benjamin Cesco is an absolute weapon for Manchester United. He is finding his way, and Michael Carrick has always said that we're not there yet. We're in a good place, and we have that steeliness. We defend from the front. Cesco was coming back, defending corners. Cesco was heading things away, and he is that threat up front as well. And Manchester United, well, we're still not quite fully tuned in, I would say, and not playing brilliantly week in, week out. I know everyone can't do that. It's impossible to do that through a Premier League season, but we have ground out results, and that's through being absolutely rock solid at the back and some outstanding defensive performances. But I think a lot of the forwards and the midfielders are not getting enough credit for their defensive ability as well at Manchester United, and Cesco is a big part of that. So I think that's got to be brought into consideration here as well. I think Carrick knew that it was going to be a bit of a grind. He obviously thought that there were obviously going to be another so-called lesser team turn up to Old Trafford yesterday and put on a show and fight for everything. And Palace did. And Palace were very good in that first half. They deserved their lead. And I think Carrick has noticed this, I think, now in a short space of time. The West Ham game, the Fulham game, obviously you're looking at the Everton game as well. Teams are coming and fighting hard against United. They're trying to upset United's confidence. This is how you beat United. You pack out the middle of the park, force them out wide where we don't have much pace. Unfortunately for Man United, we have got, like I said yesterday, different quality of player in the team now that are going to pick out their moments. And if you give us now a bit of space out wide, Benjamin Cesco's in the box. You put the ball in the mixer and Cesco will score. I think what Carrick has done, I think what Michael Carrick has actually created within Manchester United, that belief first of all, but I think he knows when the players are needed. He knows when a certain player is supposed to come into the side, like Benjamin Cesco. He knows what type of game it's going to be. It's like his analysis, whoever it is who's researching and doing the work behind the scenes. Will he change it again for Newcastle? I don't know. I don't think he will. He hasn't got a big enough squad, like we said yesterday, to keep on changing it and rotating constantly throughout the team. He doesn't rate the team that he's got, or the squad that he's got. I think he's got maybe 13, 14 max players that he can fully trust and put on that pitch at the moment. And that's a message to the board to obviously get into the transfer market and invest to help Michael Carrick, because our bench yesterday didn't really give us many options apart from Ahmad. Defensively, yes, we had a couple of options there which came in and had important moments in the game. The likes of, obviously, Mazraoui coming in, Heaven coming in. When we lose two key players in Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire and that experience, you've got good players to come in there, and that's a bonus for us. But if that happens in midfield, we've got no one. He is not playing Manuel Ugarte. He's not playing Joshua Zirkzee. So really, all he's got is them couple of centre-back substitutions and maybe one in the forward line. Mason Mount, when he's fit, might come into the fray, obviously, and be a part of it. I don't know if he really trusts in Joshua Zirkzee at the moment. I think his minutes are telling us everything. But I think he's seen something in Benjamin Cesco that I think a lot of Manchester United's recruitment team, and I think a lot of people at the football club have also seen. He mentioned yesterday he sent Travis Binion away with Benjamin Cesco to do work and individual work in training and work on him. And I think the communication from Michael Carrick to his players, and I've said this many times over the last couple of months with Carrick, he just seems to get that message across. He makes people believe that they're part of this journey with him going into the last stages of this season now when his interim period is over. I still fully believe that if he continues this way, that he is going to get the job. And then Romano comes up last night and says that everything at Manchester United is working well. Everyone is overly happy in a way with what is happening. Few people are surprised that it's gone this well, actually, at United. And obviously this is moving Michael Carrick more and more into the frame and securing his place as the top dog. It is going to come down to Champions League qualification. And I think if Carrick does it the way that we're playing right now and getting these results, and this could be wrapped up sooner than what we actually thought it would be. Like, it's not going to go down to the wire and go to the last day of the season or something like that. I think if he is qualified comfortably for the Champions League with games to go, I think he gets the job. I think it's inevitable now. More and more games go by, and even with the blip against West Ham, that's now been put to bed completely by 2 more wins on top of that. And I said it yesterday, if you didn't watch the show last night, Michael Carrick, in his 9 games as a Premier League manager, and that's including the ones in 2021. So you can say it's a bit far-fetched, and it's obviously been put together over the space of the years since 2021 to now, like 5 years worth. His first 9 games as a Premier League manager, both as interim, but he has equalled the best ever start for any manager in the Premier League, which is absolutely staggering. I mean, if he gets a couple more wins now in the next couple of games against Newcastle and Aston Villa, massive games for United, then he's pretty much done it in this period of time as well. He's levelled that best ever start. Can't ignore stats like that. Can't ignore the fact that Manchester United have obviously got 3 clean sheets, more than what we had in the entirety of Amorim's period this season as well. We're scoring plenty of goals. Our goal difference is the highest it's been in over 2 years. We are seeing games out even when we're not playing well. We're beating the so-called lesser sides. We're beating the best sides that we always did. I actually feel a little bit, I'm nervous for Newcastle because of that ground. I always am as a United fan. But I'm actually now looking forward to playing Villa and Newcastle because both of them sides are going to attack United. And I think it opens it up and makes it probably a more enjoyable game for United players and the way that we play under Carrick. I think Carrick is probably, at this point, looking forward to them games more. Because on paper, this looks difficult. But Manchester United, I think, will probably relish the challenge of the next 2 games. And I think if we win against Newcastle and Aston Villa, I think Manchester United are pretty much home and hosed, near enough. 66 points is the mark to get Champions League football. United need 15 from the next 30. They need half the points that are available in the next 10 games, basically. That's what United need. I think it will actually be less that gets it over the mark because, like I said last night in the show, everybody's got to play everybody. All of the runs of Villa, Liverpool and Chelsea on paper are very, very difficult. Chelsea have got to play 4 teams ahead of them in the league right now. So it's there for Michael Carrick, I think, to take full advantage of now. No European football. That's what we're talking about. But I want your opinions on this and how he's handled Benjamin Cesco. I mean, Benjamin Cesco now is 6 Premier League goals in 2026, has earned 8 points within them. United would be 6 in the table, says Rob Dawson. I think it's more, actually, when you think about it, because we got, actually, he's probably talking about the 1 point we had against Fulham. We got 2 more extra points there from that one. Obviously, we gained a point against West Ham, so there's 3. The 3 points, so it's 2 points against Everton because we're drawing that one. And then obviously we were drawing against Crystal Palace and he got the winner there. So effectively, it is 8 points. Rob Dawson's right with that there. Man United would be 6 and out of the Champions League places right now. So it shows you how Michael Carrick has handled Benjamin Cesco, because for Man United to pick up that amount of points and Benjamin Cesco impact that much, like Rob Dawson has said there from ESPN, in the games that he's had, off 1 start in 7 for Michael Carrick. 1 start for Michael Carrick to get that out of Cesco, I think proves that he understands the players that he's got. I think that one decision and how he's brought Cesco into form, like Gary Neville said, is key and proves that he understands what it takes. And he understands Manchester United and the pressure of what would be on Benjamin Cesco. And now he is comfortably into a position that I think we all would have probably accepted was decent enough from Benjamin Cesco when we brought him in the summer. Obviously, the car crash of the first half of the season was difficult for him, everything that was going on. But with a settled ship and good coaches in place, I know you can't forget about the first half of the season. Cesco still played games. But Benjamin Cesco this season has got 9 goals from 13 starts. 13 starts. That's it. And only one of them has come under Michael Carrick. But Carrick's got more of that. He's got the higher percentage of Cesco's goals there. I think only 2 of them came under the Amorim period for Benjamin Cesco, which is pretty poor. The majority of Benjamin Cesco has come since Ruben Amorim left. That should tell you exactly what is happening at Man United under Michael Carrick. And to add to that quickly before I come to the comments, remember what Antonio Conte said. I don't want to bring Rasmus Højlund into this, but it's just an example of what we had before. And Antonio's comments on managers and coaches being lazy and just blaming the younger player like he's not good enough. And he was alluding to what Ruben Amorim was doing with Rasmus Højlund at Manchester United and how he was handling him and then just selling him off because he wasn't good enough. Look, I was all for Rasmus Højlund leaving, so I'm not going to go back on that. I just didn't think he had the right capabilities. I don't think he had the right temperament, and I didn't think he had enough quality, to be honest, to play in the Premier League. That in time may be different, and he might come back a stronger player in the future. You never know. But Antonio Conte saying that and him being lazy, I think Michael Carrick has taken Cesco and moulded him into the player that he needs in this period. Whole time it's going to be building Cesco's confidence and making him believe that he belongs at Manchester United And right now, the goals, he scored more goals in the Premier than anyone in 2026. The comment there from Rob Dawson about what impact Cesco's had, how Carrick's handled this, I think has proved that he has got capabilities beyond the short term. And I think, again, another tick in another box for Michael Carrick when that decision comes this summer. Let's get into the comments. Let's see how you're all feeling. It's a happy Monday for us all again, Reds here in Manchester. Hopefully you're all feeling it. Hope you're all enjoying it. Just lap it up. Look, you can be a little bit concerned about certain moments in games. But look, I said this before we get into everyone's opinions on this, there'll be lots of people saying that still wasn't good enough. Another performance like West Ham, like Everton, 3 in a row now. But let's not forget, 7 points from them 3 games, Reds. And I don't think Arsenal are playing well. I don't think City are playing well. I don't think Chelsea are playing well. Aston Villa are playing well. Newcastle. Look, how many teams are absolutely killing it week in, week out? I think sometimes we forget how hard the Premier League is and how good the league actually is, myself included. But Manchester United have got 6 wins in 7. You can't win by playing gorgeous, lovely, attacking, free-flowing football week in, week out. It doesn't work like that. You grind out results. No one's going to be talking about Manchester City beating Leeds United 1-0. No one's going to talk about that. But what's that done? No, that's brought Manchester City 3 more points and just keeps the ball rolling. And that's what United are doing. The run-of-the-mill games that we always fail in, Fulham, Spurs, West Ham, Everton, and Crystal Palace, 4 wins in 5. That never happens under Amorim or Erik ten Hag. Look, I don't want to just keep blowing Michael Carrick's trumpet, but the facts are there. You cannot win games brilliantly. You cannot play great football week in, week out. You have to have the mentality to just grind out results. And United did it yesterday again. And the games, there'll be certain games when we play really well, and that will look good. And all of a sudden, Manchester United, everyone's looking at that one game where we turn up and going back to these games where we sort of just ground it out and going, they were good wins then, weren't they? They were good wins. Let's not look at the negative at the moment because there's only positives. There is only positives for Manchester United. Michael Carrick has highlighted where we need to improve. That's a positive. That is a massive positive. He's sending the message to the board. This is what we wanted as a fan base. We wanted someone to come in and start doing the walking as well as the talking. And Carrick's done it in 2 months. He's shown up what Ruben Amorim was. It's getting more and more embarrassing week on week for Ruben Amorim at the moment in how Michael Carrick's handling this squad. He's not even changing it that much. It's the same team week in, week out at the moment, and he's getting the results. Give him more players, and you might get more. Look, I fully expect Michael Carrick to lose games before the end of this season. I think we'll probably lose, maybe 2 more games this season still in the last 10. But I expect us to already have that mentality under Carrick to bounce back from it. In a weird, sick way, I'm actually looking forward to the day just to see what Michael Carrick does next when United lose a game. I don't want us to. I want us to continue winning. But in a weird way, I just want to see what happens if we lose. And you know what? You want to get to that next, because we're 2 months in now, and all of the good start stuff and all of the honeymoon period's over. I want to see what it is like day to day now. I would love us to have had FA Cup or a European calendar to look at as well. I am aware that I don't think this squad is good enough to handle European football as well. And I don't think we would make top 4, even 5, if we had European football to deal with right now. I don't think the squad is deep enough. We do need to invest a lot of money in the summer. It's all being highlighted by Michael Carrick that he is good enough to handle the squad, but he needs more. Let's get into the comments. Let's go. Is Michael Carrick the man? Actually, let me just check this poll in the chat first of all. 2 months in charge now. Is Carrick the man for United full time? 66% of you now are saying yes, Carrick is the man. If there is any knowers in there, please let me know in the comment section why you would not pick Carrick now, or why you think there's a better manager out there. Give me that manager. Obviously, we want to debate both sides of it. So give me the names, please, everybody. Bringing in a foreign manager is a huge gamble, considering that they will not get backed fully by the owners, and may as well stick with Carrick. Rasmus went about 3 months without having a single good first touch, says Compost Smurf, just on that comparison there. with Sesko. Carrick, no please. The intensity Ruben left helped us navigate City and Arsenal. The way Carrick trains the team is not world class. That's why we are struggling to create chances. Are you taking the mick, Paul? Are you taking the mick? I mean, we're averaging 2 goals a game under Michael Carrick. We've got 6 wins in 7. We've got 3 clean sheets. We're getting better performances from players. Are you serious right now? Are you still trying to back Ruben Amorim over Michael Carrick in this situation? The intensity. Where the hell did you get that from? My God, that was one thing that we didn't have in games under Ruben Amorim. We need to get another striker like Osimhen for next season with all the cups, and so we can play 4-4-2 in low block games. Rasmus doesn't know what a good position is. Galvatron says we just need to get the points on the board, get into the Champions League, then bring the players we need in the summer so we can push on. What sort of contract would Michael Carrick get as well? That's another one. Real Recognize says, I disagree, Paul. Losing Dorgu is what has caused the performances to be a little off. We miss his defensive work as well as his pace. Look, yeah, the pace is one thing that I have said that Man United lack in abundance. When you look at the players that are out at the moment, let's just look at the forwards and how we could change it up. To have a Dorgu and a Mason Mount available to Carrick right now in games like yesterday, for instance, I think that would be gold. You can imagine the bench yesterday if you had a Dorgu, an Ahmad and a Mason Mount on there. That's different. To only have, obviously, Ahmad, then you've got Xerxes there as well, of course. And again, this is all being proved now that Joshua Xerxes is not a Manchester United player in the future. Could we have sold him in January? I don't think it would have made a difference because we wouldn't have spent the money. I don't think the player that United wanted was actually available. But again, I think he is proving that he can get the results, but he needs to have more options. There needs to be another way. When answering questions afterwards, there's always something Michael Carrick said. When speaking to players, certain instructions after a poor first half, he just calmly just goes about his business, speaks to the media and says, yeah, there's always something. There's always something you can look at. He stays calm. This seems to be something that actually is really coming across from Michael Carrick into the team. There is no panic. It's like beforehand. It's like we went behind yesterday and I thought, okay, crap start. What are we doing now? Switched off for that moment. But you had it inside. You were thinking that there is enough on this pitch here, even if we're tired, even if we're not playing great, to get the win. And that's the way that it is. That's how Aston Villa played. Remember the game with Ruben Amorim at Villa Park when Villa were flying and Man United deserved the win, but Villa won it 2-1. That's what happens. Winning games, finding a way, digging in, defending a little bit deeper, the attackers coming back. I think he's brought the belief into the team that they can win games. And that's the biggest thing I want to take away from Michael Carrick at the moment. All of the Cesco stuff, the way the defence is playing better, obviously the midfield combination. And I don't think Casemiro and Mainu have played well in the last 3 games. I think they've been okay, but nowhere near the opening standard of the first 4 games that they played under Carrick. They have definitely struggled over the last few games, but they've done enough. There is belief there now. And if you can be part of a squad that's not playing well, but you still know you're going to win, that's the old United way. Michael Carrick used to do this under Sir Alex Ferguson all of the time. I don't want to go down nostalgia road or anything like that or say he's the next coming of Fergie, but to have that belief in you as a player that you can play poorly or just dig out a result is massive, especially when you're chasing points and there is something on the line come the end of the season. The club's future is basically on the line come the end of the season. That's what Man United need. They need the finances of the Champions League. And I do believe if we get in there, then we will stay in there. I think the structure and the recruitment side of things is now getting to where we need it to be. And all of the players that we're speaking about now are all proven that the recruitment, if you give Carrick the right, well, that he's going to get the right. If he gets the permanent job, he's going to get that recruitment team behind him. And I think that will push Man United forward even more. Why didn't we press Palace high up early on at home versus City? It showed how to make Old Trafford a fortress, not sitting off and letting teams settle. If we'd not won that game, it would have lost all momentum. I get it. I get what you're saying with it, ATKO. Like, we could have pressed a bit higher, but I just don't think we have got that intensity in us. I think when we've got Dorgu on the pitch, that becomes a lot easier. Because I just don't think we've got the pace. I don't think we've got the pace in the team. I think he played it a bit differently yesterday. And I think he was taken aback by the good start that Glasner's side made yesterday, because they passed United off the park through the midfield. And then he sort of just shifted things around. Casemiro started to play a lot deeper because Kamada and Wharton did a man-on-man marking situation on Casemiro and Mainu early doors in that game. So we couldn't pass out ourselves. And we lost momentum early doors. And we had to just work our way back into the game. And we were on top. And I thought by the end of the first half, Man United were the better side. We should have scored a couple. Some brilliant saves and clearances off the line from Crystal Palace. And I think overall, Carrick adapted it just enough. But we need more. There needs to be other players in there, I think, for Carrick to play certain ways. And the intensity of that press and what we did, let's not forget, we lost Dorgu in the second game under Michael Carrick, which were our best performances. Dorgu has made a difference. He brings us that energy and that speed and direct power going forward. And we have missed that since he dropped out the side injured. So we've adapted without him. We've had no Mason Mount throughout all of Michael Carrick's time, pretty much. Didn't start him that much in the beginning, didn't use him, and now he's not fit. Again, players to come back in for Carrick before the end of this season as well. Bodes well that we have got that extra little bit also in the tank when we're going forward. A few comments coming in, a couple of super chats and renewal of memberships. Enjoying our winning streak. Long may it continue, says Jim. Thank you for your continued membership as well, mate. Thank you very much, Jim. John T69 says, something is right when we win playing bad. Yeah, well, yeah, it's kind of a weird saying, isn't it? But the 3 points that matter right now for United. Having a good summer and a bit more work under Michael Carrick and his team would make Manchester United even better going into next season. Recruitment on top of that as well. Glenn says, after West Ham and Ruben, trauma kicked in and was nervous how long it would take us to win another 2 games in a row. In terms of that, after West Ham, the Ruben trauma kicked in and it was nervous you was nervous at how long it was going to take for us to get another 2 wins in a row. Well, Michael Carrick has done it twice now in 7 games. How long did it take Ruben Amorim to win 2 games in a bleeding row in the Premier League? Michael Carrick in his first 7 games has done it twice now. And I've said this, the importance of beating Everton and Palace, run-of-the-mill teams. United could have just drifted off again. Instead, we've actually gained ground and pushed further forward after West Ham. So it just goes to show, doesn't it? We bounced back from that poor result against West Ham, and now it's a forgotten game. It doesn't matter now because United are third. So I don't think anybody would have thought even in their most positive Manchester United mindsets, that Michael Carrick would get 6 wins from 7 from his first 2 months in charge. Not a chance in hell. But cheers for the super chat and then renewals, everyone. Want to move it forward with the news as well, and obviously more and more talk coming in and around the transfer situation. With every single win, the more and more positive the transfer talks get, and I think again it's going to be this way this week. Obviously now the relegation zone is setting in, and there is a little bit of talk on Matheus Fernandes from West Ham, the 21-year-old midfielder that came from Southampton, you remember. He's having a good season, quietly having a good season at West Ham, one of their better players. And obviously when the financial results came out the other day, and just get your opinions in general, because this is just another name amongst all of the other big Manchester United midfield targets. But would anyone actually look at Matheus Fernandes at West Ham as a potential signing for Man United? Plays at 6, can play at 8 as well. I think he's one of them battling, robust types of midfielders. Look, he's not as good as the others, I don't think, that are on our list. But again, with the West Ham situation and their finances when they came out for Q2 of this year, we were talking about United's, how bad Chelsea's were. West Ham's looking pretty desperate. And if they go down, there are some big names at West Ham that could really be up on the market and up for sale because they need to generate cash. They need to generate money. So you could see Bowen leaving. You could see Obviously, the likes of Fernandes, one of them players, he's only just come in. I think he signed in 2025. But he, at the moment, I think would have to be used for West Ham to try and generate some money. So all of these stories are creeping in. If West Ham survive, I actually think it might be Forest that go down, which is even better for us because some key targets, Manchester United linked with 4 Nottingham Forest players, obviously, that we know about now. If they go down, wow, that's going to be open season on Nottingham Forest and the players that will leave the football club. But Morgan Gibbs-White being one has a release clause. Obviously, we know that there is a relegation clause in the contract for Elliot Anderson. You've got Murillo, who's linked to Manchester United. He will be gone as well. Sangare is obviously another one in there that's been linked away from Nottingham Forest with some tentative talks in certain rumour circles about him going to United also. I don't see that one personally, but the relegation fight and the way that this league is setting up, I mentioned obviously Newcastle as well. By the way, if Man United beat Newcastle on Wednesday, we're 18 points clear of them. Let that sink in a minute. Newcastle are in free fall in the Premier League. Great in Europe, but free fall. Anthony Gordon being booed off, obviously struggling. The talks of players leaving, the failed transfers of Risa, Alanga, Voltemeda now who has dropped off as well. Look, I'm like building this up to be a big negative and then they'll probably turn up against United. Look, I'm just used to it now. Teams are just going to turn up against United no matter what. It's what happens week in, week out. And that's something else that Michael Carrick has to deal with, and I think he is doing. Grind out results. You're going to have a cup final every single week. But when we come to the big games, we're going to do a lot better. So the blend is right at the moment. But the transfer situation, I think, is definitely going to bubble up now. We're into the last 10 games. It's going to start looking definitely certain teams are not going to make the mark. Now, all of a sudden, for instance, now, Elliot Anderson is now fully in the realm of his 50 to 70 million release clause because there's not a chance in hell that Forest make up that ground and get to the European places. In fact, let me just double check now where Nottingham Forest are in terms of points. I know they're right down there, just below the relegation zone. So Forest sit in 17th. They're on 27 points. For them to get European places now, and this is going Europa Conference League, and for the price of Elliot Anderson to go to a certain level because of these clauses that he's got, they would need to make up around about 16, 17 points. That's not going to happen. They've got Manchester City, I think, at weekend. But Nottingham Forest are not going to make Europe. So the price for Elliot Anderson is already being set. It's maxing out at about 70 million. This going off what Ben Jacobs said, of course. And when he said that the clauses in Elliot Anderson's contract will not allow him to leave for a certain fee. So it's not going to be 100 million. It's going to be more between 50 and 70 million. Look, he'll look quite stupid if it turns out not to be true. But he has already put his name on this. And obviously he's got information about the contract of Elliot Anderson through speaking to whatever sources, agents, I'm guessing. So it's 40 million if Nottingham Forest get relegated. It's 50 to 70 million pounds around there if they don't get European football. Gibbs-White has got a release clause as well. On top of that, West Ham have to sell players because they need the money. Newcastle, obviously, Tonali wants Champions League football. And like I said, we are 15 points ahead of them now. Tonali and Gordon are leaving Newcastle this summer. It's set. There is no way that that's salvageable going off what has been said at the moment. Tonali's agent has already been out, obviously putting his name to every other big club in the Champions League, one that's going to be sustainable and stay there. He wants to go back to Italy. I don't see anyone in Italy having the money to buy Tonali. I don't think Newcastle would want to sell him. Although Newcastle will probably look at it and go, maybe we take a few mil less and not give him to a rival and see him playing against us week in, week out, and maybe sell him cheaper to potentially Juve or someone like that. But again, I just feel the transfer window now is taking shape because of the way that teams are actually performing and where they're looking like they're going to finish now, going into the latter stages of this season. There are so many clubs that Man United have got players that we're linked with. You look at Wolves, they're down. You look at West Ham, they could be down. You look at Forest, they could be down. The European expectations of Newcastle will determine what happens to certain players that they've got going into the transfer window as well. So there's plenty there for United to get their teeth into. If we're in the Champions League, I say if still, I'm very confident that we can make it now. But if we're in that Champions League, like we said this week, with all of the money and the finances that's coming through to Manchester United, then your quid's in. You're ready to go. We brought you the news last week that Marcus Rashford's deal is pretty much done. United securing them finances. And look, Mason Greenwood, I think, will leave Marseille. That's going to be more money for Manchester United. And expect a bit of an exodus from the under-21s and whatever money Man United can drag together for that. There is obviously going to be that decision on Radek Vitek as well, because at the moment he's a 25, 30 million pound goalkeeper. Would rather keep him, but United might be tempted into moving him on also. There is a lot there that Manchester United can do. Zirkzee leaving, Agate leaving, maybe even Mason Mount at this point also leaving in the summer. The money that Man United can generate and are already going to generate through moving up 12 positions in the league and the prize money that that brings potentially, and obviously Champions League money, which you can calculate in before the end of the calendar year, which is going to benefit United's finances. Everything that we've spoken about this week and us just winning games week in, week out now under Carrick is just making the transfer window look quite clear and open. I want to get some comments on your thoughts on certain players, please, everybody as well, in the transfer window. I've just mentioned a few there. Anyone in that melee down at the bottom, apart from the obvious, that you think is worth a punt? Carrick's record against Newcastle playing for United is 1-5, drawn 5, lost 2. Bodes well for Wednesday. I hope you're right, Sean, on that one, mate. United did more in the second half, but what is concerning me is I wish we played with more panic. Is that more panic? But that will come. Is that more pace? I think it's supposed to say there. I think it's a typo. Play with more pace. I do get that, yes. We are getting great results, and that will get us Champions League football. Honestly, we're nitpicking at certain things right now within games, aren't we? But let's be honest. I think everybody would have taken this, wouldn't we? Winning games, that's what it's about. Good performances will come with in time. Imagine wanting Amorim to have more players when results were crap, but wanting Michael Carrick to be replaced when getting best results in years with the same players. Good point from Gray. Get to see Lewis Hall on Wednesday, see how he does. I like Lewis Hall. I think he's a good player. If he's at the right price, I think United should be interested in him. Is that Alzenjo? I think is how you say that. I don't get why people don't give Carrick a chance. Pep and Enrique was nobodies before Barcelona, and Arteta was a nobody before Arsenal. All of the high-profile managers was nobody before they got their chance. I think the only argument some people would have with that is that why should Manchester United be giving Michael Carrick a chance? Should Manchester United be going for the best manager? Why is he going to get his chance at United? He's proving why he's going to get his chance at United, isn't he? To answer that question there, or if anyone who's got any doubts over that, the comment is dead right. Arteta was given his chance and was backed and flourished. Pep Guardiola, Luis Enrique, some big managers. They all have to start somewhere. So why can't Michael Carrick start for Manchester United? That's how we've got to look at it, I think. Carrick has an unbeaten record in both times he took over United. He does. I mentioned at the top of the show, he has the joint best start to a Premier League career in Premier League history. When you look at all of his 9 Premier League games, he has drawn to won 7 of his first Premier League 9 games as a manager, and that equals the record. I don't actually know who has got the record. I'm not too sure, actually. Please give the video a like, everybody, as well, while you're at it. I love that. We're already creeping up to that 200 mark, which is our golden ticket. Thank you, everyone. Again, later on today, I will be announcing the winners from the Big Up giveaway of OK jerseys as well. So anyone who participated in the game yesterday, I think we give away some 300. I think it was 200 odd quid was given away. We were going to give 5 shirts away as well. We had 29 winners in total on the game yesterday. So well done. By the way, the new prediction league is up now, everybody. The Newcastle game is up and running now, so you can get your predictions in. The link is in the live chat there now, everybody. So make sure you get across and get into the game itself. What I'll try and do now, if you bear with me 1 second, I'm just going to try and get the latest game up now and just get it up on the screen so you can see your options and what you've actually got. Bear with me 1 second while I just bring this in for you all now. I haven't done it yet in terms of bringing up the graphic. I actually got a win myself on the game yesterday. It's crazy. I think it's the first time I've actually won. Right, let's have a quick look at this. Okay, so your options for the Newcastle game this week, they're there right now, everybody. If you want to get your predictions in and get on our leaderboard ahead of kickoff, you have up until kickoff on Wednesday, 8:15, obviously, Manchester United at St James's Park. You know the score. If you've played before, you will get the chance to, obviously, I think, unlock your bonuses as well. So if you've played a certain amount of games on it already, then you will be getting extra money to then spend on the game if you want. You can play the game for free, of course, don't forget. Anthony Gordon will score, get an assist. Matthias Cunha will have over 2 shots on target in the game. There will be under 3 goals in the match. Could it be a tight game? Would you go with that one? Manchester United will score 2 or more goals. Newcastle will have 6 corners at least in the game. There will be over 2 goals in the first half. There will be over 1 goal in the first half, sorry. There's another option. There will be over 10 corners in the whole game. They're your options now. The game is live, everybody. Get involved. Over the next couple of days, we'll keep you updated on everything there with that. But we will be doing the announcement for the Crystal Palace game later on for the OK Jerseys side of the game anyway. As you know, on that one, we give 5 tops away every single game, as well as the other winnings you could make. I will update you all on the 25 grand winner as well. Don't forget, anyone who has played the game is in the February draw to win 25k, courtesy of Big Up as well. Obviously, now we're into March. We are going to be doing another one at the end of this month. So anyone who comes in on the Newcastle game or was part of the Crystal Palace game, you are entered into that draw as well. So make sure that you do get your predictions in before kickoff. We haven't got as many games this month, Manchester United, which is a bit of a downer. The big downer, because we're just gathering momentum again, and it's going to be one of these long-ass breaks again for United. I think it works out about 11 days before United play Aston Villa. I don't know if that's a good thing. I think Villa would have played 2 more games in that period, and we'd have played none. I don't know if that's good or bad. Will Villa be knackered after their European game on the Thursday as well, before Old Trafford? Interesting. I'd rather be playing games. I'm going to be honest. I would rather be playing games than not playing. I think United struggle without. Even though we looked tired yesterday, I think sometimes if you don't play, you can be more tired, I feel, or more fatigued. I don't see any playing style. Do you? Explain. Oh, look at that. There was a super chat in there. Thank you for the super chat, but someone's gone in with a negative. Don't see any playing style. Okay, I'll counter that and say, do you see a playing style at Chelsea? Do you see one at Arsenal at the moment with the way that they're playing? Manchester City. It's possession-based football, which Michael Carrick has in his locker. At Middlesbrough, before he came in, the 3 main ways of him playing were all analysed and brought in. Possession-based football, which United in general, under Carrick, have won the possession game in the majority of the games that he's played under him. So there's one. He likes to win the ball back high, he presses high, but he needs a certain amount of players to do that and certain players available, which we haven't always got. The intensity of Mason Mounts, Patrick Dorgu's pace as well. We're not the quickest forward line, so you could say that that's not fully available for him right now. And, of course, he likes quick counter-attacks. Are we not seeing counter-attacks on the Michael Carrick? I'm pretty certain we've seen a few so far. Anyway, yeah, playing style, I do see a playing style. I see possession-based football. I see a certain number of players always going forward at the same time. I see certain players dropping off in certain positions to cover other players going forward as well. I see adaptability. I see a lot of positive is what I see. And do you know what the playing style is for Michael Carrick? Just to answer that question, winning games. That's what it is. That's the playing style for Michael Carrick. Winning football matches and being third in the league. Simples. It is an easy game, football, sometimes. You can overanalyze it as well, though. Oh, my God. Thanks for the super chat. I'm not having a go at people that want to criticise at all, but wow. People finding fault in 6 wins in 7. Yeah, okay. Okay. I'm just not that person. That's all. But I just find it hilarious sometimes. There are other people out there, and you've probably seen them online, that will try and find fault. There are some people, I think, that cannot wait for Man United to lose a game, just so their point's proven and their negative agenda can be driven again. I think that is there. It is a real thing. And honestly, I'm like, I would rather be United right now than a few other teams in this league table. I was saying it yesterday. Would you rather be Spurs right now, who were in the Champions League, who won a trophy last season? Would you rather be them? I mean, Tudor's got off to a great start, hasn't he? 2 games, 2 defeats. Yes. I tell you what, if the form of West Ham and Forest was a bit better, then you'd be seeing Spurs go down. I actually feel like there's more players in the Forest and West Ham teams that will be snapped up by other clubs if they're relegated. Obviously, Kulusevski, Maddison, bad injuries, I get it. Be a different Spurs side with them. Thanks, man. Keep smiling. Looks good. No worries, mate. No worries. Appreciate you coming back with another comment there as well. And the super chat. Appreciate that. It is, I think, now, when you look at it, I think it's all set up. I think this break we can, after Wednesday, that is, let's see Wednesday out first of all. And then I think we can just set and have a look and see. It's like someone said there, like Mark, yeah, Somerville at West Ham is another player. Somerville, Bowen, Fernandez, these players will be off from West Ham. They're not going to hang around. Matthias Mane and Gomez at Wolves, more players leaving there. But we are set now looking at it. And I think going in to the last few weeks of the season now, I feel like the relegation zone will set itself. I think Europe will start to take shape. And I think we'll start to see where teams are going to be. And then the noises with the transfers will start to come with. We're into the last 3 months. This is it now. March into May. 10 games left to go. I think Manchester United's transfer rumours are just going to start to go and gather more and more momentum now. You're going to get a load this week as well. If we beat Newcastle on Wednesday, prepare yourself for an absolutely blockbuster of an 11 days in between the game against Newcastle and Villa, because all you're going to get is people digging and digging and digging now, because it'll look like United are pretty much already in them Champions League places. And you're going to start hearing more and more stories about what could potentially happen, alongside, obviously, Michael Carrick news and him strengthening his position as Manchester United's head coach potentially going into the new season as well. Thank you, everyone, for popping likes on the video. I love that. We have nearly 250 in the bag, which is mental. Really appreciate that, everyone. Keep them coming in. If you haven't already, pop a like in there. And in fact, just pop a like on a video if you are enjoying life as a United fan at the moment. I think that's good. I was at the West Ham the West car park with the full barber kit yesterday, mates, but couldn't find you. Don't you worry about my hair, Sean. Seriously, I said it before. I appreciate you renewing the membership. But if you want hairstyling tips and how to grow a head of hair like this, I'm all there for you, mates. I don't know where he was, because we were talking to Graham after as well, mate. Just to the side of the ticket office is where I'm at, Sean. So I'll catch you next time. But unfortunately, mate, I'm gonna burst your bubble on this one, I'm afraid, because I am gonna go and get my hair cut tomorrow. So you can obviously judge the style and the do tomorrow if you're on live with us, mate. But yeah, haircut day tomorrow. It is a bit long, to be honest. A bit out of control. On that note, I'll finish up and leave you all with your Monday. Another happy Monday for Manchester United fans. Don't forget, everybody, get your comments in below on everything we've spoken about in the show. Give the video a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on Forever United TV. More importantly, the game is live now. Prediction game for Newcastle. Get your predictions in. The link is right at the top of the description of this video. And of course, it's in that live chat there if you are live with us right now. Click on that and get your bets.